we came out in no pads today, and I felt it was one of our most intense practices, and it was good to see. I think our guys have really come out every day. They've worked really hard. Today was no different. I think for them to learn that we can come out and really have an elevated practice in no pads is good for them. So that part's good. As far as the injuries, I know Mike Brown, we talked about him. It's more hamstring tightness. He was doing some extra stretching to try to loosen it up, and just like yesterday with Jonathan Cyprian, we feel like it could be possibly that. We just on our side of being safe. Toby Gerhart, I told you we'd let you know with him. He is not going to play on Friday. He's made great progress, but we just felt like at this point in time, for the number of carries he's going to get in there, we'd rather have that recovery time.
Is that frustrating, Gerhart being?
No, it's a preseason game, the first preseason game. I don't know how many carries he would have got. It'd been nice to get him 4 or 5 to get him a feel for that. But he'll get more carries as we go.
Are you starting to get a pretty good idea of who's going to be here in a couple of weeks?
Well, I think you use your preseason games to evaluate. I think there's guys we're intrigued about and look forward to watch and see. As you see us in the game, we're going to get an opportunity to see a lot of our second and third group guys working. And, to kind of get, a feel for how they're doing, how much they've accomplished over OTAs, mini camp, training camp, that's going to be exciting. So I think it's, we evaluate in practice, but that's a great evaluation tool as well.
How much can your mind change at this point on a player from what you've seen the first 10 days?
Oh, yeah, it can change. Yeah, it can change. I think there's going to be stories taking place throughout the preseason, guys that really show up, and we're just getting started as far as that's concerned.
Did you run any Tampa Bay plays today?
Yeah, one session.
What are the Tampa Bay plays? They got new offensive
I know.
So
it's tough, right?
What plays did you come up
Yeah,
with?
you just come up with some general ideas. Maybe watch Coach Tedford, what he did at Cal, and, his base philosophy. But you know what? We go into it really just trying to teach our guys. We want to play hard, play fast, play together, run and hit at the bank. Let's just run and hit and really follow our rules. We call it rules ball. Go out there, play your rules. There's going to be some things that maybe you weren't prepared for, but just trust your preparation as far as all the learnings that you've had and go from there.
Did you really look at some Cal film, seriously?
No, I said that's what you'd have to do if you were playing them. Yeah.
So you're just going to rent some generic football players.
Right.
I think you're trying to stay positive about stuff we've asked you about the receivers before, but are you getting close to the point, or is there a point where you go, another one? Really?
Well, I think it's, we kind of implemented this new deal where we're trying to lessen reps and see if that has an effect. And it's hard, defensively you're looking at JT Thomas, a little bit of hamstring, right? And then Sherrod has just got a little bit of tightness. Other than that, the injuries, soft tissue injuries, have been great. And same thing with the rest of the team. So I think we're seeing the benefits of it. The receiver deal, I think we got to be careful of is the piling on. And that's why, we're going to try out a guy now, a couple guys just to see. And I think we got to guard against the piling on the reps to other guys. But I think it would become more frustrating if we were getting closer to the first game. But it's the first preseason game. We're going to get an opportunity to see a lot of the young guys. So we want to make sure we do that.
You said it was intense practice today, but a little chippiness on both sides. Yes, it's been a case the last few days or so, but are they ready to play a game?
That's what I think. You know what? They're going against each other, and I think the chance to go against another team will be good for us. You go against each other so long. It's nice to have an opportunity to go against somebody else.
Blake entering obviously first preseason game Friday. What are your expectations for Bortles?
Well, the poise, all the things that we've talked to him about that he can control. Poise, handling, chaos, going in there, execute his reads, all those type principles. I don't want to get caught up. We don't talk to him about, hey, we need to see 3 touchdown passes, and we don't get into that. We just want him to, all the things that we've been teaching him. He's really done a nice job progressing. I see him, where it was one good, one bad, one good, one bad in OTAs. You're seeing him stack up a couple good ones, and that's good. I think the challenge for Blake is the consistency. The consistency. You might see a defensive end throw a great pass rush move and get a sack, and you're like, wow, but then he may disappear for 4 or 5 plays. Where a guy like Andre Branch or Chris Clemens, you see a sack, and then in a scrimmage like this or a pass rush, you may see it 3 or 4 plays later. And I think that consistency part is what Blake really needs to work on.
Gus, it's become cliche to say we'll see how he shows up under the lights type of thing. You know, in your experience, how often do you see players show up in practice and then it changes under the lights?
It happens a lot. I think it's, you constantly battle it. And I think it goes back to your teachings early, and it's such a process-driven. We are, as an organization, it's about the process, so that when you play underneath the lights, you trust your preparation. Just say, hey, I go do the same things I do in practice. The scrimmage is a classic example. Where we have 5 drops, guys were open and just dropped the ball. Well, you'd catch it in practice. Why can't you catch it when you're underneath the lights? But sometimes players, they feel like this is my chance to shine. I'm underneath the lights, and now they try to do too much, and that's when you see them not play as well as they'd like. So I think to really get our guys to understand that is important.
What kind of camp is Mercedes on?
Very good camp. Very good camp. He's come in the best shape. I know for me, just in hearing from him, he said the best shape that he's come in for a while. And he's taking care of his body, his run blocking, his pass stuff. He's really done a nice job.
Is Blackman going to return punts?
Yeah, I think you could count on seeing him return some
And
punts.
Todman kickoffs?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Nice
Okay.
Sorry,
How's
Jim,
Todman
real quick.
looking?